Being a gladiator in ancient Rome meant living every day on the razor's edge, between death and lasting glory. The people, they were admired warriors. To the empire, they were a guaranteed spectacle. To themselves, most were simply survivors. Though their lives were short and often violent, a rare few reached something extraordinary: immortality through fame. Their victories, defeats, and legendary stories have lasted centuries, preserved in poems, mosaics, sculptures, and even graffiti. Gladiators were part athlete, part performer, and part martyr. They won the admiration of emperors and the cheers of the crowd. In this video, you'll meet the 10 most iconic gladiators of the Roman Empire, or in the hidden corners of Pompeii. Buried by Mount Vesuvius, archaeologists discovered traces of a past that refused to vanish. Carved into walls were names that would not be forgotten. One such name was Tetrits. Tetrits wasn't an emperor or a senator, yet his feats in the arena inspired ordinary people to honor him with the simplest tools: nails and charcoal, graffiti. From the 1st century records his victory over a gladiator named Prudes. Although the details of the fight are lost to history, it was clearly memorable enough for his fame to travel beyond Rome. He fought as a murmillo, a gladiator armed with a large rectangular shield, a short sword, and an imposing helmet. What made him stand out was his boldness. He fought without chest armor, relying entirely on skill and agility. Every time he entered the arena, he faced extreme danger, and that may have been what fascinated people most. Tetrates' fame crossed seas and mountains. Pottery and artifacts bearing his name and image have been found as far away as Gaul, Britannia, and Pannonia, modern-day France, the United Kingdom, and Hungary. Such international recognition was rare for gladiators of his era. We don't know exactly how many fights he won, but his legacy is literally etched into the walls of a city. In 1st century Rome, few names excited the crowds like Spiculus. What made him exceptional wasn't just his skill, it was his close connection with Emperor Nero, the most powerful man in the world. Spiculus won Nero's favor with bravery and flawless performances. He wasn't just a successful fighter. He became the emperor's favorite. Nero, known for his love of extravagance, rewarded Spiculus with luxurious homes, vast estates, and great wealth, rewards unimaginable for someone of humble beginnings. Most gladiators were slaves or prisoners of war, but Spiculus lived like a celebrity in the heart of imperial Rome. Nero's admiration ran so deep that, in his final hours, when enemies closed in, the emperor reportedly wished to die by hand. Unable to find him, Nero ended his own life with the help of a servant. While many gladiators left their mark through scars and broken swords, Hermes was immortalized in poetry. The famous poet Martial, a leading satirist of the time, wrote verses praising Hermes' skill, elegance, and near-mythical technique, a rare honor for a gladiator. Hermes was more than strong. He was unpredictable. In an age when most gladiators specialized in one style, murmillo, retiarius, or Thracian, he mastered at least 3 switching tactics depending on his opponent. To the audience, he was mesmerizing. 2 rivals, terrifying. No one could predict which Hermes would step into the sand. Martial compared him to mythic heroes because Hermes fought with the grace of a dancer, combining power, strategy, and showmanship. His name became a symbol of excellence in combat. Being immortalized in verse meant he had conquered more than fights. He had conquered time. Few battles in ancient Rome were remembered as vividly as the duel between Verus and Priscus. It took place in AD 80 during the opening of the Flavian Amphitheater, today's Colosseum, before Emperor Titus. The fight wasn't famous for bloodshed, but for what it represented. According to Martial, their battle was long and evenly matched. Both gladiators demonstrated exceptional skill and endurance. In a rare moment, exhausted, they simultaneously lowered their weapons. There was no winner. Titus, moved by the sight, awarded both men the rudis, the wooden sword symbolizing freedom. Winning it without killing an opponent was rare. Receiving it together in front of the crowd was legendary. Verus and Priscus became known not for violence, but for proving that even in Rome's deadliest arena, honor and skill could prevail. Fighting men was dangerous enough, but facing wild animals was nearly suicidal. Carpophorus, the celebrated bestiarius, fought lions, bears, leopards, bulls, and even rhinoceroses and survived. In one famous event at the Colosseum, he killed 20 wild beasts in a single appearance. With minimal protection, he faced nature head-on. His mastery over animals became a symbol of strength and control, earning comparisons to Hercules. Carpophorus represented humanity's ability to dominate chaos. For most gladiators, the arena was the end of freedom. For Crixus, a Gaul, it was only the beginning. Captured and enslaved, Crixus quickly stood out in the arena for both strength and technique. But he sought more than survival. He sought revenge. Alongside Spartacus and 70 companions, he led a breakout from Capua, starting the Third Servile War, a rebellion that shook Rome. While Spartacus aimed to cross the Alps to secure freedom, Crixus pursued vengeance. He split from the main group, marching south with thousands of followers, sacking villas, and confronting Roman forces. In 72 BC, Crixus was intercepted by Roman legions and died bravely in battle. His death inspired Spartacus to force 300 Roman prisoners to fight each other in his memory, a grim tribute that sent a defiant message to Rome. Most gladiators were slaves or prisoners of war, but Marcus Attilius broke the mold. A free Roman citizen, he entered the arena voluntarily to pay off debts and avoid ruin. In his first fight, he defeated Hilarus, a veteran with a 13-match winning streak. Soon after, he beat Idius Felix, undefeated with 12 victories. News of his victory spread like wildfire across Rome. In 2007, archaeologists discovered mosaics and graffiti bearing Attilius' name, proof of his skill and bravery. In Rome, a gladiator's name was earned with blood, sweat, and steel, and few names shone as brightly as his. Few gladiators carried a name as symbolic as Flama, Latin for flame. Born in Syria as a soldier, he was captured and forced into gladiatorial life. Armed with a short sword and shield, Flama fought in the secutor style with partial armor, enough to stay mobile but still exposed to danger. Over 34 recorded bouts, he had 21 wins, 9 draws, and only 4 defeats, a remarkable record. What made him legendary was his refusal of freedom. He was offered the rudis, the wooden sword symbolizing freedom, 4 times and turned it down every time. May have loved the arena, or felt it gave him control over his destiny. He died at 30, unusually old for a gladiator, and was buried with honors. And finally, the most famous name of all, Spartacus. A Thracian enslaved and sent to Capua, Spartacus became a symbol of resistance. In 73 BC, he escaped with 70 gladiators, igniting the Third Servile War, the largest slave uprising in Roman history. Within months, thousands joined him, including slaves, peasants, and miners. Spartacus defeated multiple Roman legions, planning to cross the Alps and secure freedom. In 71 BC, he faced Marcus Licinius Crassus and was defeated. His body was never found, cementing his legend. Over 6,000 survivors of his army were crucified along the Appian Way, yet Spartacus' story endures. He became the ultimate symbol of freedom and resistance against tyranny. His name lives on, inspiring all who believe liberty is worth any price. These gladiators faced death daily. Some found glory, others freedom, and a few rebellion. From Pompeii's streets to the Colosseum, their names live on in mosaics, poems, statues, and graffiti. They were more than fighters. They were athletes, performers, and martyrs. Admired by emperors, celebrated by the people, and immortal in history. Their lives show that even from the lowest beginnings, slavery or exile, humans can achieve immortality. Every fight, scar, and choice helped forge legends that still defy time. If this journey through Rome's greatest gladiators fascinated you, leave a like and subscribe. As always, may Mars guide you in battle. If you want to see what a Roman soldier ate in 24 hours, click the thumbnail on screen. See you in the next story.